Hi, we're going to do some look at pigment, and so we've been out this morning and we've dug up some pigment, and I'm going to show you how I get the colour, some pigment out of some soil. So here we have a green, a copper green, and so now what I do, I get a bowl, here we are, pour it in. Now remember, I've dug up many different types of soil around here, and it's come to nothing. So it doesn't mean that you can dig up stuff in your back garden and you're going to get some fantastic pigment out of it. Most likely you're not. The reason is that this is a great mining town around here. There's a lot of copper, so copper is seeping into all sorts of things. There's a lot of oxides. So, and it doesn't mean that, as I said, wherever you dig, there's going to be it. Normally, it's when you put your hands in and you get stained immediately, and you try and wipe it off, and you think, there's a stain on this. That normally means there's a fantastic amount of pigment in the soil. Now, I know if you're a scientist, you'll be going, he's just talking out of his backside. Look, I don't know about this stuff. All I'm trying to do is make some pigment, and this works. So this is what I do. So yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fill it with some water. Okay. Now what that does, give it a stir. Okay. Like so. Give it a stir. And to break it up. Now there's still bits of grass in here and things like that. So I'm going to let that soak for an hour or so. I'm only doing a tiny bit here to show you. That's all that there was in the bag. And sometimes, you can get a lot out, and sometimes there isn't much there. As you saw when we were walking this morning. So that is now just the water is loosening it up. So I will leave that here on the side and here, and then come back in about an hour's time, and then I'm going to sieve it, and you'll see me sieving it through here, and then I'll sieve it and sieve it and sieve it until I'm left in this pan with a pile of hopefully pigmented water, which I'm going to then boil dry and use as pigment. So that's the first bit done. Okay, here we go, and I'm now going to put this into. I'm going to put this into sieve here. And see, what I'm doing is I'm beating it through the mesh. This is just a kitchen and keeping it in the water. So see, some of those lumps are still there. And then really what I'm doing, see, it's just a load of stones there now. There we go. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that a few more times, and then I'll come back to you, and we will heat it up, and I'll do that in a minute. Okay, I'm now going to put the heat on, turn the hot plate on, and start heating it up. I've sieved it 3 more times, and I'm going to put a little top on this. So, because basically as it dries, it will start spitting all over the place and make a mess of the cooking and everything. So that goes on there. There we go. So I'll be back soon, and we'll see it boiling away, and we'll go from there. This is the point like all good cooks, you just have a little glass of wine to kind of help along the cooking. So cheers. And look, listen, boiling away nice. nicely. This will boil away for the next hour or so. And we'll look at it again and we'll come back to it. Okay. Hi, we're coming to the end here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to lift this off the top and show you. See, it's starting to really dry up nicely. Okay. So we're just going to keep it on a bit more, just a tiny few more minutes more. And then whilst we do that, by the way, the other thing to remember is nice open window. Get all those oxides not in your lungs, out the window. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, so it's nearly time. Yeah, it's drying up nicely. Yeah, right, I'm turning that off. Gonna get a plate, okay, let's go over here so you can see. And then, see, just gonna pour it onto this plate. So there we are, and now I'm going to put it on the radiator until tomorrow, okay? Until that's absolutely powder, bone dry. It'll still be in lumps, but it'll be completely dry. And then we'll see what we do with it, okay? Here's the pigment on the radiator. And now we're going to go over here. And on the palette, there's the green. I've put some on this plate and we're going to do some mixing, so I'm going to show you what to do. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to take some, put it on the palette. Okay. We're going to take some cold pressed linseed oil, only cold pressed linseed oil, nothing else will do, the purest. The whole point of this is that it's pure, it's not going to change the colour of the paint as it ages, which boiled or any other kind of linseed oil will. Now you can see. So what I'm doing is I'm using a palette knife. Now you could use a muller, glass muller, that's good too. But I prefer a palette knife personally. Now making sure the oil is thoroughly mixed together with the now that's the see this is the right consistency. Now that's going to dry nice and that's just right. It's not too runny, you see. Now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to paint. So I'll set it up so you can see me using the colour, and there you go. Okay, I've thought about this pen quite a bit. I've been living with it, but the grey for the sea, it's not really working for me. So I've been thinking about this particularly copper green blue. So got some turpentine here, so I'm mixing it up. Now remember, this is quite transparent, so I'll probably have to do a number of layers. So I still want the grey coming through a bit. I've already done it a bit here. That's what made me decide to do it. It might not work, but we'll see. Remember, it's a bit darker than it is. It's going to dry a lot lighter. The grey is going to come through, and I'm using the grey like in watercolour to reflect the light, but a kind of dull light. So it's a kind of a green sea, you know, like you get in England. But you get it here too. As we're moving into their winter, it's their autumn at the moment, moving into getting. There we go. So we'll see how that goes. I'll give that a couple more layers. Anyway, enjoy yourself. One more thing. Okay, I just wanted to finish with the fact that I've given it another coat. I'll probably give it one more, but really happy with it. It's doing that lovely sense of this, the copper green is making something happen with the sea. It's getting the rhythm that I wanted to have, and it's actually lifting up the spheres, the thoughts, in the way I want to, so they come towards you. My last thing, an invitation here to you all to my opening. Please come on Easter Monday and be good. Take care. Bye.